Hello and welcome to what would have been episode 2 of a series of Let's Play Total War with me, Scruffy Joe. I'm doing some Warhammer 2 Total War. We're playing as the Dark Elves, doing the Nagarond stuff, being Malekith. Now, I say what would have been episode 2 because I recorded episode 1, but I realised halfway, well, four-fifths of the way through it, that I had a hideous amount of frame rate drops and everything, and it looked terrible, so I went and quickly played it back, and it was jumpy as hell. So, sorry about that. There is now going to be no episode 1, although this is now episode 1, I suppose. Yeah, anyway. Just so you can be aware, episode 1 was about 23 minutes long, and it involved me basically starting with this province, capturing this province, and then having a lovely battle at the end where we captured this province. So we now have a full section thingamy. All of these belong to me, all our base are us, etc. Doobie-da-da. So now we've got, what have we got to do? I think we've got a couple of missions. We have got to get a bunch of captives, build a dark hold, and continue the purge. Maintain control. One, I think we're about to get that one. Then we should also get a mission in a second which says kill the rest of the Skaven, so that's about to happen. But in the meantime, I've got a little bit of organisation to do because there's no point having 2 of this type of building, so I'm going to knock this one down. That's that. We have an experience point for the main dude, Malekith. And I am making it cheaper to buy troops because that just seems like a sort of semi-sensible thing to do. Although I do also want to... ooh, hello. I mean, that might be handy. And this is also very handy. I want to do this as well. So I can get in here and get Word of Pain and Blade Wind and stuff like that. I think maybe Sadistic might be a good early one, but I think that's really if you're going to do loads and loads of battles, and really if you're going to do loads and loads of battles you're going to need to recruit lots of troops, so I'm going to do that. Done. So yeah, we're just healing up after fighting some Skaven, so we're probably going to sit for a turn and do nothing at all, because there's nothing else to buy. Oh yeah, I can do this though. Right, here's their public order, which is an interesting thing. It goes from plus 100 to minus 100. At the moment we're on minus 25, and every turn it's going down by minus 17. Well, that's not true. This turn it's going down by minus 17. Next turn, that minus 10 points there for conquest will disappear. So there'll only then be minus 4 for that, then minus 4 for taxes, and minus 2 for corruption. So it's actually going to be minus 8 points plus the 4 points for my military presence. So it's actually only going to go down by 4 points in the turn after that, if I've done the maths correctly. But it is still a bit of a problem, so we are going to quickly do that. Just until such time as I can build a building which gives public order benefits, which I'll probably do there next turn. That's just what's going on. I think, let's have a quick check around the map. I think that is all we really need to worry about. The only thing that might be worth doing is, if we can, recruiting a lord and then maybe sending them over here to try and steal this province, which seems to be empty. But if you expand too much in a game like this too quickly and don't build an economy to back you up, you end up with no way of defending it, and then it all goes to pieces. So maybe that might not be the best thing to do. I'm going to keep my money for a bit, because I'm going to be able to build things in a few turns' time. We don't need to see about Admiral Leech. Admiral Leech means nothing to us. What we want to see is our own place. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we built a thing. They gave us 500 gold. We have got loads of money. That is because we have an entire province, which means they gave us 2,000 gold. And we issued a commandment which gave us another 500 gold. And apparently we now have 12 turns to destroy this clan. And that will give us 2,000 gold. Ooh, sacrifice the Lady Desire. Go willingly to their death. Okay, we now have a right which is available. Yes, I saw that already. So yeah, you can check on all of these things. You can scroll up and down and look at all this stuff. You can turn it off. You can just look at your quick missions. Ba-ba-ba-bum. You can just close them again. This is where the rights are. So there are 4 rights. We now have this. So we can sort out public order if we want, and it will just cost us some slaves that we can sacrifice. And it also means that any other lord would be more loyal to us, because there is a chance that the other lords might run off because they're kind of bastards.
The people grow restless.
Okay, let's spend some cash. Let's build a marble quarry, because that's going to make everything cheaper once it's finished. That's now on -1. If we were going to be hyper efficient with money, I would wait 2 turns before building anything else. But I'm not. I'm going to unlock cavalry. And then in my last slot, I'm going to come over here to infrastructure. I am going to take a second to explain all these buildings, actually. That's what I'm going to do. So, you can build, and there are a bunch of different types. These indicate how high the levels are, so if it's right up there at the top, you can't get to it at the moment. We're only level 2 in terms of tech. So this is resources. This is basic military, so you've got your foot troops, cavalry, and whatever the heck these guys are. Shades. What are shades? They are armor-piercing missile vanguard deployment stalkers, which means they're basically sneaky and they hide in the woods at the beginning of fights and then shoot people as they run past. So yeah, that's basic military. Then you get really advanced military, or as I like to think of it, freaky stuff. So you've got the Altar of Cain, which is where you get access to hags and witch elves, who are kind of nutters. Harpy Roost gives you harpies, leads on to all sorts of nice stuff. Look at that, Feral Manticore, War Hydra, Black Dragons, baby. Dread Mans? Not sure how you say that, it's probably a French word. Cold Ones, which are big lizards that we can ride. That's really cool, that's a much better kind of cavalry. And over here we've got Sorceresses, which is cool, and an upgrade to that. And then defense buildings, which you can't really build in the capital, but if this was one of the other 2 provinces, you'd be able to build walls. And then over here you've got your infrastructure stuff. So there's basically, for all of the races in this game, there's a similar panel for infrastructure that looks like this. You've got stuff which helps growth, stuff which makes money, stuff which helps public order, stuff which helps money and kind of is a bit odd, and roads. Kind of clear. So there you go. Those are the options. And for now,
Do not vex us further.
I just want a thing which makes people a bit more cheery. Because once they're a bit more cheery and this number's a bit nearer to 0, I can change off public order into something really handy. Like recruits everyone's a bit better, you get more stuff from fights. Or you could go for, well, you know, there's loads of options. We'll cover them when I change my mind in a bit, once that gets above 0. I'm not going to do the right just now, though. I'm going to leave that.
King Malekith, King of the Druki.
We've got 13 turns to kill the Skaven. I've got a suspicion. How long was it going to take to build that place where the horses can be built? 2 turns. I have a suspicion that the Skaven are under siege here at the moment. So if we just sort of run over there and help nature a little bit, we'll probably get an easy win. But in the meantime, I'm going to sort of stack this army out with all manner of violent death machines. Because we've got quite a lot of cash. And I think
Cease your
I
provocation.
will recruit a lord and just make a run over here and try and grab this one. And just sit in it. Just to be awkward. Or I could go and join in and gather all of the provinces over there. That's probably more
Favoured of the Witch King.
But we have done all the recruitment this time. So she's going to have to just sit there on her own. But that's fine, because these guys are moving there next turn, and then we can do some recruiting for them. That's all good. One turn till technology as well, which will make the recruitment cheaper. So it's all kind of going to plan. Next turn, please, everyone. Let's just skip past these weird dudes down here. So, I mean, it's nice to know what they're up to.
A rival power comes to parley, demanding a change in your mutual
Hello.
relations. Consider their offer carefully.
They want me to join their war against the Skaven. No, they want to join the war against the Skaven, but they're already fighting them, and I don't want to give them my money. So, no, bugger off. What will happen instead is that I'm just going to go up there and kill both of them.
Cold breeds strength.
Some money for issuing a commandment, that's nice. Now it wants me to build a dark citadel, or sorry, a dark elf tower, so that's gonna happen anyway. And the science finished, so let's get the science on the go. So the choice is extra growth, income from raiding and post-battle loot, recruitment costs for troops. Gonna go growth.
My cruelty knows no limits. Spreading misery. End them!
Interesting.
Moving back. I can't try left.
Yeah, okay.
The Witch King. Glorious carnage.
I really don't. Oh, you've run away, haven't you, you little scumbag?
Forget yourself. Death follows with me.
That looks like a close one, doesn't it? That's going to be exciting. I should really deal with the other guys first, though.
Merciless host. Attack. Druki,
Okay, let's,
bloody slaughter awaits.
continue the
Barricade.
siege. Now, I'm going to do something here, and that is press the save button and call this Nagger on fire. I was tempted for a second there to change it to Maroon 5, but I haven't, because that would have been embarrassing. Okay, we can do some more building. We can upgrade one of these, which would allow us to build more stuff. Or we can wait and upgrade this, which is actually a mission, which is what it wanted us to do.
Do not vex us further.
So that's kind of a
Cruel dreadlord.
either-or situation there. However, with this young woman, I will just give her some troops. In a kind of a one of each of the cheap ones. Right, do we want to upgrade either of these? If so, which one? I think probably this one, because then we can give it some defences, because that's kind of a weird border. Stuff may come from there, and having walls would be handy. Because otherwise they'll just march straight over it. I will upgrade that one. That's all the cash I'm going to spend. Now, what you notice is this number's going down. And that's because we're getting larger and larger armies. It will stabilise, but you don't want to let it fall too far. If you keep buying more and more troops without going back and buying buildings which give you money and doing trade and stuff like that. That's a good point. Doing trade and stuff like that.
May be managed through diplomacy, my lord. Consider your situation carefully before accepting any agreement.
Our court thrives on plots and schemes.
Yeah, they don't like us enough for anything.
Let's go on.
You kind of got these faces which how good or bad they are. Plus there's a list of how many settlements they have, so some of these are quite rubbish. Some of these people are never going to talk to you. Well, it's good to know that they are strength 95th in the world and only have one settlement. That's handy, because I'm about to kill that. What we want is someone we can trade with, but I don't think any of these people will.
Vicious warrior. What
Let's
motive
try.
brings you to treat with us,
Trade?
Druki?
Let's try that.
Indeed. Unthinkable.
Unthinkable. Never mind. That's not going to get any better, but at least now we've got somebody who's the non-aggressiveness of the whole situation will probably help. That's my plan anyway. I mean, I'm not sure if that's true. Ah!
I will pile your pestilential bodies high.
What? What do you want? They will give me money for peace. Alright. We're going to have to come back and kill them eventually.
Felicion arranges a ritual, yet the power of many scrolls are required to undertake it. My scryers tell me that many such artifacts remain.
Okay.
A chill wind.
Search any ruined settlement for treasure. Righto. We will do that. Ooh, she's got low loyalty. Right, so if she's got low loyalty, why can't we do this anymore? Oh, we haven't got quite enough slaves. So that means we just need to do a fight.
Lord of Nagaroth, fear me.
Cool, apparently we weren't actually at war with them.
I'm withdrawing.
Which is weird, because why weren't we at war with them? Okay, so in a few turns' time we're going to have a siege tower and some battering ram action. We will
Merciless
go and
one.
smack them in. We were too late doing this, which is a shame. That is a shame. However, we can do this, which will give us slightly more money and make all the buildings slightly cheaper to build. So that's good news.
Cruel
And we can also,
dreadlords.
just now we've got the ability to do this, get a couple of units of cavalry. Which are quite expensive, but the point is she's not going to actually keep them. I'm going to ride them over to where we're besieging the Skaven and link them in with his army, just so that we've got some cavalry, because it's good to have cavalry. Just going to nip on to the next turn, because I don't think there's much else going on for the time being. We're just waiting to grow and gain money and build buildings and gradually get better. Now I have absolutely killed our finances. We're down to 761 a turn, which is really not cool in my book at all. So we're not going to spend any more cash. We are, however, going to switch using this stance mode onto
Do
March
not cease.
and then
Going
run
now.
over here. Now, what can we build this time? Now, as I said, I'm going to be a bit more sensible now. I'm going to wait, because that's 1,280. In a minute, that construction cost will fall by 25%. It won't fall by 25%. It's probably already 20% lower, but it will fall by a bit. So we're just going to ignore that one. And go to the next turn. Those Skaven are not going anywhere. I have them thoroughly besieged. Which is always good news. It's always good news to have your rats trapped. Oh, she's no longer disloyal. That's good news.
Nagaroth nobility!
I think we should change your stance back to normal marching.
What violent delights!
And then you can just come over here.
Moving! It cannot be done. Can you smell it? Weakness.
She can hang out. That's fine. Okay, we now seem to have two things which want to be building stuff.
The people are
Aha! So this is basically walls. This is going to protect this settlement. This is the one here, right? And the reason is because these are kind of chaos tribesmen up here. And they might occasionally just rampage through. And also there's this weird tendency for clans of beastmen to come out of the forest. So rather than have your back door exposed, it's best to build some walls, and they are relatively cheap. And they do provide you with additional garrison troops, which just means it's more likely to be survivable. And also we want to try and get the money up, so this goes from 150 to 225. It's an extra 100 and something. That's good news. And you want to be upgraded? I think we should probably... I mean, we should probably do that, but I think it's probably worth waiting first and getting this one up to 3. That is what I'm going to do, folks. That's the plan. We will skip on another couple of turns. Somebody died. Not relevant to us. And we have discovered something which improves our growth, which is great.
Fight for me or die.
Ooh.
Noble
So that's just
Nagaroth.
telling us that there's more people available. I've accidentally shut the world map. I didn't mean to do that.
Against council orders.
Whoa.
Slaughter them. Moving.
2 more turns. You see, the thing is, they will actually start to die out naturally on their own, but I don't think... hang on. Let's just continue the siege. We won't do anything for 2 more turns anyway. How long did we have on the mission? Wipe them out in 7 turns. Okay. That's okay, we can wait.
Yes.
You can wait.
Favored of the Witch King.
What else we got going on? And you don't, we don't need to do that. What else we got going on here? Right. So we can get more casualties post-battle, which is great. Extra slaves. More income. We can have even more growth. Or we can have some extra public order. Actually, we should probably take a quick look at how it's looking.
Attack.
Minus 45, but it's on +3. That's really quite handy. That's doing alright. We have built some torture pits, so we are getting a +4 from that. But currently there's no military in there at the moment, so that's working out. Okay. So we could have cheaper dudes, which leads on to speedier dudes, better ranked dudes, and better, less likely to run away dudes. That's really handy. All of those are really handy. All of these are really handy. And that's more money after battles. We're going to have a battle in 3 turns' time, so that's kind of irrelevant. I think we should just take this one for the minute. Cool. That's selected that. I don't think there's anything else we want to do this turn. Gonna skip on. Gonna call that the end of this episode as well while it's going through the in-between stage. And we were going to come straight back in with another episode straight away in a minute, which will have a battle in it. It's going to be good.
It is clear
See you soon.
that the Skaven